and welcome to the Cancer Journey podcast. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sherry Ann.
So today we're going to be talking about showing up for yourself when you're not feeling 100%, and that is ringing so true for both Sherry Ann and I right now. But before we go into that, let's get a little grounded and do our pest check-in. So, Sherry Ann, will you go first today?
Physically, I'm 2.5, emotionally 3.5. Spirit, okay, what wanted to come out is 4. Hope 3.75. And my word is bleh.
Yeah. All right. Physically, I'm a 3.75. Emotionally, I am a 4.25. Spirit is a 4, and hope is a 4. And my word is rest. So, as you can probably tell, Sherry and I got a little sickness or a little just we're not feeling our best, and we wanted to be so real and still show up and talk about that, because on a cancer journey so often, and it's not everyone in every cancer journey, but often you feel sick or you feel tired or you just feel not in your body and completely just disconnected from what's going on here. And so especially since this is ringing so true for us in our like physicality right now, it felt like an appropriate time to talk about it and just showing up for yourself, um even when it can feel easier to just squirrel away and do absolutely nothing.
And what I wanted to add to what you said is the reason why we're here is because this actually nourishes us, it feeds us. And when we're feeling so depleted, it's so easy to say no and just push everything away. People, activities, um, things. It's like I'm a low number, I don't feel good, and so I don't want to do anything but sit my butt on the sofa and watch TV. That's the truth. Or
Yeah.
a movie or whatever. My ears are so clogged right now. And okay, so I thought I was at the tail ends, and then it kind of flared up again, which I went to blame of myself. It's like, what did you do? Which is also a common thing. It's like, why do we, instead of just taking the message of, I'm not feeling well, and go into self-care, we go into, why is this happening to me? And then it turns into self-blame. It's like, did I take enough care? Or maybe I didn't slow down enough, or maybe I shouldn't have gone out to the grocery store. Or, it's we trying to find the reason why we are where we are. And that happens so much in a cancer journey, which is like the same thing. Did I not take care of myself? What did I do? Did I uh, smoke too much, drink too much, um, do blah 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 too much, as if these were actual activities that have a direct pinpoint to illness. So I'm in that kind of blame and shaming myself place, and that's not healing, and that's not good.
Right. Also, you're in a space where, like, just overall, all parts of you, they're feeling weaker, and that includes wanting to show up for yourself and tell yourself, like, I can do this, and feeling not just physically strong, but emotionally, spiritually strong. Like, it's so hard to, um, show up for yourself and show up for yourself in a way that's, like, gentle and like, okay, I understand what's going on. You just need a little rest. Like sometimes it's hardest to be soft with ourselves and give ourselves that permission to rest and not take on that natural blame, and um because sickness is so out of our control. And I mean, that's one thing that we know time and time again feels really difficult, is having that, and even just trying to keep a train of thought It can feel like you just don't feel like yourself, and it feels so messy and hard, and the reason that we're also showing up for this today, as Sharianne said, it's so nourishing, but it's also so easy to polarize it. Like, I'm doing it or I'm not doing it. And today we kind of had that agreement, like, we're gonna show up, but only as much as we can. Only as much as like our full being can do it, because we know that this is good for us and it helps us in many ways, but also there's a part of us that wants to just sit in front of the TV, and so we're kind of making a choice to meet in the middle and have a happy medium. So we might not do our full 30-minute episode today, and we might end up keeping it short, and a lot of it is just like honoring and staying in tune with like what's here, what do I need. Like if you have a coughing attack and you're like, and now my head hurts and it's all radiating and I can't do it anymore, and then we make the choice to like wrap up. But we're showing up as much as we can without pushing ourselves too hard and being hard on ourselves and giving ourselves that same blame.
Right. And so what's coming up for me is I'm like considering this space like the safe space that we create with coaching. So the coaching container is incredibly safe. And so in that container you can say and pretty much do anything that you want that you don't feel like you could actually do or process out there. And so right now I just want to feel sorry for myself. I just want to go, well, I'm so sad that I'm sick and it happens to be Halloween. I don't get to go play unless I force myself. But then that's that whole thing. So there's this whining, um, feeling sorry for myself that I can't do out there so much. I might say it a little bit, but if I just want to be like whine, 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 at some point they're going to get tired of hearing me and say, can you just go put yourself on the sofa and watch TV because I can't hear this whining anymore or complaining or whatever. But that's what it feels like. I need. It's like something inside just is like, "Ah," there's so mixed emotions. I'm angry that I'm sick. I'm sad that I can't get everything done that I want to, which includes play because it's Halloween. Um,
Yeah. And I think that whole there's such a thing too, especially like socially around complaining, right? Like there's I think people kind of just sometimes we feel like we write people off, but other people also write each other off for complaining too much. And it's a really easy cop out sometimes, and sometimes it's truly what's too much for people. And that's why having a safe space, having a coach where you can whine to and complain to, because a lot of times that's actually a huge part of the processing of what's going on in here, and how you we call it externally processing. You know, you have to go through it. You have to like say all of the things that feel real, regardless of how real they are, um, to really just get it out there. Like get that energy out of you, so you're not just stewing in it in here. And it's really hard to unleash all of that on people who really matter to you day to day, who, you know, they impact you, you impact them. With your coach, it's so safe to be able to do that without the worry of like, oh, are they going to disappear on me? Am I annoying them? And when you're sick, you're not like, you're maybe not even thinking about that so much. You're like, I feel like crap, you're just gonna hear it. You're just gonna hear it, and it's just gonna come out of me, because that filter that I'm trying to set up it's so weak right now, and I just need to put it somewhere. So when you're going through a cancer journey, sometimes there is that cycle of worry that like people aren't going to want to stay around because all I'm going to do is complain, and I just like, how am I supposed to enjoy life when I feel like this and I'm low energy, and with the energy I do have I feel like I can't do anything but complain, or you know, I can't show up for the people and I just feel useless. And I think that's such a common feeling when you're sick, any sort of sickness. I'm useless, I'm out of control, I can't do anything, no one wants to be around me, like all of those things that just come up and they become so loud for us that it's really easy to fall into a depression with it actually and want to just completely remove yourself and feel like it'll just be better for everyone including myself for me to just disappear. And I'm here to tell you that is absolutely not true. That's so not true. You can show up as much as you want to. There is space for you. Um, and sometimes what you really need is someone who can hear you and all your craziness, regardless of if you really mean it or if you're just feeling so inflamed at that moment that you have to say the most inflammatory thing without it really being true for you, you know?
Or without repercussions. It's
Yes.
like wanting to scream because what you said is that that filter is so is either gone. I remember my filter being gone during my cancer journeys because it's just you're using all of your energy just to make it through the effects of treatment, and it's like, oh please don't ask me to do more than don't ask me to be polite or whatever. It's like I'm going to be raw, I'm going to say things. And I know that even in this moment, because I'm taking a moment and I'm thinking about my words. We don't. It's just like reactionary, react. And I just want to say, real, not the blaming part, but now the irritation part, the anger part of I did it all right. I didn't do anything wrong to get sick. Um, so kind of opposite ends of the emotional spectrum there.
Yeah. Which is just like the roller coaster and swirl of emotions that come up that you're like that filter being gone, it's gone for you too. Like it's so gone. And there's what really comes up is like being your best self and like our expectation to be our best selves and this uh desire for perfectionism, which like we all know that like no one can be perfect, it's not all perfect, blah blah blah. We're still gonna strive for that, right? And so I had this thought the other day, what a relief it is to recognize that not every thought has to be an intelligent thought, or not everything
Ah,
that you say has to be intelligent, and like what a relief that is to put that down. And so when you're sick, I mean, we're on camera right now, you know what I mean? We do care about what we look like. And so when you're sick, you feel gross. You don't feel your prettiest. If someone feels their prettiest during while they're sick, shout it out because I want to know what you're doing. But even just that little bit will knock me down a little bit. And like not feeling like I don't feel presentable and I'm not showing up presentably, not just physically, but even, emotionally, energetically. And even that will hold me back from showing up at all because it's like, oh, I like my nose keeps running and my nose is all red and I feel like dry and gross and like I have to hold a tissue with me all the time and do what my grandma does and like stick in my sleeve so that I always have one there. And I just feel icky and I'm like, oh my god, I and this is regardless of feeling contagious or whatever, but just being around people who feel normal, like it feels, what it feels like, being sick feels less than normal.
yes. Yes. And then if we do show up how we're feeling, which is, of course, not our best selves or even our whole selves, it's just you're showing up. And why you're showing up was a real good question because if you're, there's something about being on, like the expectation that when you're socializing, you're on, or presentable is what you're saying with the how do I look, do I have my hair done, do I the expectations that we put on ourselves. Like what if we could all be just ourselves every day as we are? Because here's the fear, someone's going to go, oh, what's going on, you're not being your regular self. And then it's like, huh, do I apologize? Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm sick. You know, I, I, I'm not my best self. Or do I just say, huh, and go on my way? But then that feels rude. I mean, there's so many, the expectation. First, there's the expectation, and then we can't complain It's like, this is a whole ball, and then we're like, "Well, why bother?" So I'll just stay in my jams and stay home, and I'm done.
Right.
Whew, there's anger here.
Yeah, and frustration because also like someone saying, "Oh, you're not you." Yes, I am. This is absolutely a facet of me, and the expectation that you have, person who's not thinking, and that's fine. You can't expect that. That's their own thing. For them to expect that of you feels heavy. To feel like you have to carry that, or the assumption that this isn't you. This is still you. This is just you sick. And that's okay. And the more that we expect that someone can't show up in that way, the more degrading it is for their own personal being and the way that they feel that they can interact with you. So, I mean, for anyone out there who wants to say, "Oh, you don't seem like yourself, you seem sick." I am myself, and I am sick, and let's just let that be because everyone gets sick sometimes. And it is not a choice, it is not within our control. And it keeps the person who is feeling sick, whatever type of sick, from wanting to show up. And I do want to touch into what it is like why are we showing up? Why do you want to show up when you're sick? Because there's still life going on. And you don't want to feel like just because you're sick, you don't have the opportunity to have life. There are so many different levels to being sick. It's not just like this one category you're put into. Some days you'll have energy, sometimes it's just certain hours, sometimes it's like I need a lot more rest through my day, but I have waking hours where I'm alive and well and can do things. Just it's just truncated. There are so many different moments because you're not just sick and unwell and have to sit on the sofa and watch TV because you have no energy. Sometimes you do get swings of energy and you want to show up, but you don't want to be put in this hole of you're sick. Why don't you just go sit down or like go take
Mm.
a nap? Like there's so much more to that because you're a full person.
You brought up a topic that, or just what you said, brought up a scenario that I remember when I was going through cancer and I had to go in for treatment, and I wasn't feeling well, no surprise. And so, no makeup, didn't do my hair. I don't know, I'm sure I threw on just a sweatshirt and sweatpants, and I'm there, and I look across from me, and there's this woman, and her hair's done, her makeup's on, and I mean, she had night, or not sweats, anyways, decent clothes on. And I said to her, I said, "Wow, you got yourself, you had enough energy to get yourself together." And she said, "And I do that for me because this makes me feel good." And I just thought, huh, do I need to do that? And I do have to say that sometimes if I do have to go out or I want to go out, maybe putting on a cute sweater, even though it's not for anybody else but for me, will help it. I don't have to put on makeup and do my hair, but it's just something that, a little bright color. Obviously, I'm not in bright color today, but a bright color sweater could help lift me, not for anybody else but me. And being sick doesn't mean that I have to be down in the doldrums in kind of a depressed state. It means I show up however I want, and that could be okay with making myself feel better by doing what makes me feel cute or pretty in that moment for me.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yes, for me.
Yeah. I mean, and that's on like the psychology of like fashion and how that even just showing up for yourself and doing it for you makes you feel better and makes you feel like you get to still communicate your personality and like um it's Halloween. Like it's not putting on a costume and being someone you're not. It's putting on something that makes you feel like you when maybe physically or even emotionally you don't feel like yourself anymore. Maybe it can feel a bit like a costume, but it's showing up for yourself. And so like that goes into that category of what showing up for yourself is because
Hmm.
it can be like wanting to go to an event, right? So often when you're sick, like I said, you're like sit down. It's isolating, but you can be like, "Hey, actually, I'm going to wear my sweatpants and I'm still going to go to that party. And I'm not going to, you know, dance around and drink or whatever it is that everyone else is doing, but I want to show up. I'm going to sit quietly on the couch and just have small chats with people here and there if I have the energy for it. But I don't want to feel isolated. I don't want to sit at home and scroll through social media and just see all these people having fun, feeling like I can't, because there's no one
Right.
really stopping you but you. And again, to have those words when you're feeling really sick can be really hard too. But I want to like almost feed that dialogue to anyone who's also feeling sick right now and just not feeling 100%, because you get to still show up in ways that feed your soul, that make you feel still a part of a community and still feel like a person who has desires and cares and likes pretty things and wants a piece of candy. Like, you get to have those things still, and you don't have to force yourself to isolate.
Yeah. And here's the big thing is that we are all connected. And yes, I know there are introverts and extroverts, but it is that connection, whether it's with one other person. Um, Separateness is not what we want. Now, we could be feeling ill, and that may be fine for a while, but once we're in need of connection, we don't have to pretty ourselves up if we don't want to be connected. It's like what we're really talking about is authenticity and real and being accepted by us who we are ourselves so that we can do that out there instead of the performing and the posturing or the all of the things that we do to feel part of, we are part of always. And I think that's my takeaway. We can be connected in however we want, whether I'm picking up the phone and saying, you know what, I don't have the energy to really connect, but I want to know that someone's there with me. Can we watch a movie together? But you can be over there and I'll be over here. So if you want to just FaceTime or you want to do this on the computer, but I feel I need to be connected, but I'm not feeling well. That sounds really good to me.
Yeah. And I think
And soul full nourishing. Sorry.
that's okay.
All done.
I love your bit on authenticity too, because as we're talking about feeling like we can't show up if we're not looking our best, we're in a society that's very externally attentive, I suppose. To show up as your full self, even when you're not feeling your most beautiful or your most presentable, is actually so much more authentic, and you get to really tap into what's needed here. And I want to invite people to not feel like they have to isolate. Obviously, if you're feeling contagious, you have a fever, maybe you don't go to things. But like you said, there is that connection you can still have over FaceTime with people in your life. You can make new connections by being in different communities. Even with social media, you can use it to connect with people instead of just being an observer. um but I think that when we're sick, any kind of sick, we really need to assess what like is really needed. And you're so raw when you said that before. It was like, it really resonated with me, that word, that like it becomes really clear what you need. If you need to complain, you need to complain. If you need space, you need space. If you need to be heard, you need to be heard. It gets really, really clear what your needs are, even though they feel almost inflamed because you don't have that soft filter that you normally do. Showing up exactly where you're at, taking exactly what you need, and knowing that you're not alone. You don't have to self isolate. You don't have to just sit in bed and take a nap because you're sick.
And that's super clear. I'm gonna do my PASH physical 2.5 still. But emotionally, I'm noticing the lift of, I don't know what my numbers were before, but I'm noticing a lift. So like 3.35. My spirit is kind of a 4.25, and my hope is a 4. So, just talking about what's feeling sticky and icky along with the illness actually loosens some of that up. It's like I'm not holding it, I'm not carrying it. does help to speak it, to release it, to let it go. My word is freer.
Okay, I'll take that. Okay, physically, I am. I don't even remember what I said before. I'm a 4. Emotionally, I'm a 4.5. Spirit is a 4.25, and hope is a 4.25, and my word is brain fog, but still showing up, you know? Thank you so much for tuning in today and being here with us, even when we're not 100% also. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for being here. I too have brain fog, so have a lovely rest of your day. And remember, you're more powerful than you realize.